Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm having a good couple of days actually, and this has been a good day. If you're looking at the figure of Red Hulk, you'd be right. But yeah, I started off buying a Hydra Captain America around $10.99 or something like that. Then I got a Arnold Major Tote from the Raiders of the Lost Ark for $11.99, and I also got a Bo-Katan Kryze, leader of the Night Owl Squadron from Mandalorian, for probably around $11.99. But this guy, I'm not going to talk about the price just yet. I just want to come in close on him. And this is Red Hulk, and I think he looks great. I never intended to go for this figure, to be honest. I did like the film Brave New World. Thought it was a good film. Still prefer to see Falcon as Falcon and not the mixture of the two, Falcon and Captain America. And I still want to see a Captain America. But getting to the Hulk though, when he appeared in Brave New World, wondered what his story was, and I quite liked it. Not sure if it looks like Harrison Ford, but at this level, you can't complain. You really can't, and certainly not for the price I paid, which I'll tell you in a sec. But there's his other head sculpt, you'll see that. Not bad. And there's his sort of gesture hands. And he's kind of similar proportions to my comic book Incredible Hulk. But at the end of the day, he's a little bit different. And I will go into all that as this review goes on. And as you can see, we've got the artwork behind him. That's nice. I always keep my boxes. I like to keep my figures in their boxes if necessary, but I do like to collect the artwork on the boxes. So that's his first pose. So I'm going to give you the same pose but with the other head sculpt on and the gesture hands. So I've changed out the head and the hands. I'll come in close on the head. Not sure how to describe that feature. Kind of a neutral, I suppose, or getting angry face. But I'll probably keep him with the other head sculpt on, where his teeth are being shown on that figure, the head sculpt, and he looks like he's really angry. But might as well get some angle shots in. And there's his gesture hands. There you go. So I'm now going to keep this head sculpt and gesture hands on, so I'm going to put him into a pose, see what I can get out of him. So this is not a bad one. I suppose once you start making the figure more dynamic, the head has a bit more relevance, and I'm liking it more like that rather than the way I've just seen him. But yeah, he's good. He can get into those hulky-fied poses, if that's the right word. And it's great that I got this figure today, because I never intended to get him. Saw the Falcon as well that he fights in that movie, Sam Wilson, and that would drop down to about 14 quid because it was about 35. So the Falcon, Captain America for that price. But there's the Falcon, the kid that takes over his role, that was around the same price. So I could have got those figures to pose alongside with this figure, but I'm going to do something slightly different because I like to try different. Let's try one more pose and then we'll put the fighting fists back on. So you know me, I like the old one knee pose, and it's great that such a bulky figure can get into that pose, coming straight on. You know, my other comic book Hulk can do it. So it's a nice dynamic. Let's come around the other side. That's not a bad shot there. Now with the actor that played this role, he took over from the late, I believe, William Hurt, who played, is it General Ross, the father of Betty Ross, who was Bruce Banner's love interest. Yeah, he became the president, and obviously through a bit of bad luck, meeting and associating with the wrong people, he also becomes the Red Hulk, who is able to touch things because that red skin is generating pure heat. He's able to touch things and they melt, so he has apparently that ability. I don't remember that in the film actually, I'll have to watch it again. But yeah, that's kind of what he's capable of, alongside having the sort of strengths that the Green Incredible Hulk has. But his rage comes from a different place. But unfortunately, William Hurt never lived to do that role, so Harrison Ford came in, and I thought he did a good role in that part. So maybe he'll come back again, but the man is 82, I believe, now. So who knows? So let's keep that pose on one knee and bring in the other head sculpt and the fighting fists. So right, I changed my mind slightly. I've kept the gesture hand on and brought in a fighting fist because I wanted to see the combination of the two, and it looks pretty good. Really like that. Yeah, I actually saw the Hot Toys version of this a while ago, and people did seem to complain a little bit about it. I think if you're up to your standards, people have higher expectations, and it was all about the Hot Toys needing a seamless body, so you couldn't see like joints like you see on this toy. But that's not a big issue for me when I'm collecting at this level. I need to know that I can pose him and get some interaction poses with him and other figures I've got, and he looks the part. And sometimes, you know, rather than can buy an impulse, I hold off and I manage to get things cheap. Now, my cheapest acquisition was $4.99, and that was Cyclone from the Black Adam wave, the female superhero. But that was brilliant, and I do like that. But when I seen this originally, it was at least 30 to 35 pounds, and I thought, I like it, but again, it's not on my radar. But recently it's dropped down to 20 pounds in another toy outlet I sometimes go in, so I definitely was thinking about buying it then. But today, when I went in to that same toy outlet, it was going for £10, and I'm not going to turn that down. And there was about 4 of these figures in the store, and I thought, I'm not even going to risk it for the next day, because they do get collectors in there that buy in bulk and probably would have bought the lot and sold them on eBay for twice the price. But yeah, £10, that's my best Marvel Legends figure I've ever got at that price. And even if I paid, say, the full retail price, now I've got him, I really do like him, and it's a case of I probably would have got him at his normal price. But anyway, that's that pose. Now I'm going to put the fighting fists on and change it up a bit. Right, I thought I'd change it up a bit. Now originally I was going to get my comic book Falcon down here and have him battling Red Hulk, which is what happens in the film. But I didn't know if they'd work well together, one being comic book and one being based on a movie, but I think it would actually. But I've decided to go for my comic book Hulk, and you couldn't imagine the circumstances in which these two would meet up, but maybe you could. Marvel will always have a way of getting around things if they decided to make that movie. But that's comic book Hulk up against Red movie Hulk. And I kind of like it. I know they're not from the same format in terms of comic book and movies, but it does work and it makes for a nice look. I don't know if I'll ever pose these two together in combat fights, but it's a possibility based on what I'm looking at now. So I'm going to change it a little bit, see what else I can do. Yeah, I tried this one. It's not quite connecting for me emotionally, but I'll just shoot it anyway. This is not what I was looking to do, but these things get a bit fiddly at times. Yeah, I'm going to change this pose. It's not what I'm trying to achieve on camera. I like to keep pushing the standards. Yeah, I think that's better than it was. I think mainly it was the Hulk was the problem. Didn't look like it was a natural thing for him to do in the way he was hitting Red Hulk, but looks better to me now, feels better. Red Hulk, I didn't really have to change his pose. I thought he had the right look. That's not bad from that angle. Coming in close. Yeah. Let's try another one. So yeah, I decided to get Hulk into the one knee pose, just to show you that he can do it. But it's not a bad dynamic there, the two of them going at it. Let's get a close-up on that angle there, which is really good, like that. And I've also put in the other head sculpt that Hulk comes with. Less angry. His teeth are together on this head sculpt, whereas his other ones are apart. But that's not bad. Now I'm going to put the gripping hands in of the Red Hulk and the Green Hulk, and put the other head sculpt back on. See what that looks like with them two in a contact pose. So this is a nice contact pose, and I'll put both gesture hands back on the figures, and loggerheads, they're both engaged in grip. Not quite good in my opinion, but it's the ballpark I'm looking for. And just bring it round so you can see over the shoulder of Hulk, and that looks okay. Loving the detail on Hulk's back. And then we'll go around to the other side and see that dynamic. That looks good, the way Hulk looks, and the detail there is there, not as pronounced as the Green Hulk's back, but it's there. So I'll probably keep this pose, but I'll swap them over on the opposite side of the platforms. Let's go for that. Yeah, trying it this side, not sure how I feel about it. Let's have a nosy on that angle. I think I can improve on the Red Hulk's pose. I like Incredible Hulk's pose, but his pose isn't all that for me. But this is about having fun with your collection and interacting, and I'm enjoying it. Let's see if I can improve in on Red Hulk's pose and keep Green Hulk the same. Yeah, looking at it now, I would say that Red Hulk's pose has improved. I haven't changed Green Hulk, and it's mainly because of the leg position I put him in. I don't know, he seemed weird with that leg position I had him in before, but overall the balance of the pose seems to work well with Green Hulk. So I'm going to get them out of this contact pose and do one more kind of to finish with, or maybe two more. That's not bad. Yeah, I think Red Hulk needed to be adjusted in terms of his pose, but now it seems to look quite good, the two of them like this. So let's try a couple of more things and then wind it down. So no contact really, but they're definitely squaring up to each other. Hulk is reaching for the face of Red Hulk and he's backing off, and let's go on the other side and you can see it better that way. Hulk's face intent on grabbing onto the head of Red Hulk. Let's reverse the roles and see Red Hulk trying to reach for the face of Green Hulk. Yeah, I thought I'd give it a shot, but I looked at it from the angles and it looks okay when you see it straight on, but it doesn't seem right. That's not too bad. But I won't go the other side because I know I've tried to get the head looking at the Hulk, the red head of the Hulk, trying to look at the green headed Hulk, but his eyes don't correspond. I might try it with a grin, with the angry grin face, see what that looks like. In fact, that's what I'll try. Stick the other head sculpt on and try again. I thought I'd try this one and I'm not sure about it really. Let's come around to this angle here. It doesn't look too bad like that, but Red Hulk is attempting to grab on to Green Hulk and it's not bad. Let's come around the other side. And even though Red Hulk is really good, you can see there's a lot more muscle on Green Hulk, or it's more pronounced. But I prefer that. So I'm going to finish with what I call a poster pose now, because I think I've covered all the bases. So that's the final one, guys and girls. It's what I call the poster pose. And let's come to comic book Hulk. Nothing brilliant, but I do like him. A strong figure like this, you don't have to overpose it because it just looks good anyway. But just get that head sculpt in, and that is my childhood image of the Hulk. And I'm going to keep that head sculpt on because I have posed it today on the review, but the head sculpt he was using was panning down that one on camera. Good head sculpt, but I'm going to stick with the one he's got now. And those are the fists he come with, but I'm going to keep the gesture hands on. And those two side by side, I actually like a lot, even though one's comic book and one's movie book or movie. And here we go. Harrison Ford, who played the Red Hulk, he did a good job, but this figure is very, very good. Good to pose, and I'm hoping maybe I'll do another one with him, coming down to his head sculpt and his fists. I'll do another one with him with my comic book Falcon. But I'll have to do a few dummy runs off camera to see if it works for me. But I think these two have worked. I really like the way they look on camera. But I think this guy's going on to the marble table in the living room. I'm gonna have to find a place to squeeze them in. And my comic book Green Hulk will be going upstairs in the bedroom alongside my lineup of the comic book Avengers, which you would have seen on the channel when I reviewed them. So this is it then. At $10.99, was 20 quid about 3 weeks ago, but the same toy outlet dropped it down to $10.99. So for that, and that alone I had to get it. But once I got it, and he deserves another close-up, it's a good figure and it's good to pose, and I'll be changing him out every now and again. And hopefully, if I do pick up a movie Falcon, Captain America, Sam Wilson, I will have them two in combat poses. But for now, I say thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.